Hi, Banana Recap here. Today I'm going to talk about a movie called Small Hours. There are spoilers ahead, be careful and take care. This is Fernande's sister. The girl has spent all night and morning looking for a donkey that escaped from the convent grounds after missing her morning prayers, in which she makes excuses first to Sister Ginevra and then to Abbess Maria. And this is Alessandra. The girl looks dreamily out the window as Ginevra watches. Together with Fernanda, the girls gossip about Alessandra, believing that the girl dreams of some handsome man who will come to the convent and take her with him. At this time, Alessandra meets with her father, asking how the family is doing and also asking her father if the merchant Ricardo has asked about her. Alessandra is upset that the engagement with the merchant can be forgotten, but her father asks the girl not to. Despair, after which she leaves the convent. Fernanda and Ginevra try to find out what her father has said to make Alessandra cry. Passing by a vegetable garden, the girls attack the local gardener Larco, who constantly stares at them, which makes Fernanda and Ginevra hate him. While they are tormenting him, Tommaso's father goes to town to sell fabrics. After collecting the embroideries, Tommaso meets Larco, who declares his departure because the nuns have spat on him and called him a Jew. Meanwhile, in Lunigiana, a simple servant boy named Macito is sleeping with his master's wife. When the lad climbs up on the woman a second time, Bruno appears in the bedchamber, from whom Macito escapes by jumping out the window. Bruno has not seen who it is, but suspects that his wife's lover is one of the servants. The grandee goes to the bedroom, where at this time Macito is already pretending to be asleep. Bruno approaches each and touches his chest. Macito's heart is about to jump out of his chest, which is how the boy gives himself away. In the dark, Bruno cannot see who it is, so he cuts off a strand of hair with his knife, promising to deal with the servant early in the morning. To avoid punishment, Macito picks up Bruno's thrown knife and cuts off a strand of hair from all the servants in the bedroom, which confuses the master in the morning. Drunk on wine, Francesca waits for Macito outside. Noticing the lad, the woman pins him against the wall, intending to undress the poor servant right there, which sees Bruno with the guards, ordering them to fetch Macito's balls. Escaping from the soldiers in heavy chainmail and armed with Macito's spears is not difficult. In the woods, the lad accidentally meets Father Tommaso, who, instead of selling embroidery in town, got drunk and accidentally dropped his luggage with fabrics into the river. Climbing into the cold water, Macito pulls the fabrics out of the river, for which Tommaso wants to thank the guy, but he has no money or wine. Macito asks only for a room to sleep in if there is one available at Tommaso's monastery. Upon his return, Tommaso treats Macito to fresh bread, after which he offers wine. Once drunk, Macito begs for his sins from the saintly father, telling him what he did to Bruno's wife. Now the boy is afraid to go back, because he is likely to die, so Tommaso allows Macito to stay at the monastery. To this end, the saintly father brings Macito to Sister Maria in the morning, telling him that he accidentally met this deaf-mute boy. The poor man's family supposedly told the father that Macito was a handyman, and so Tommaso decided that the boy was just necessary in their monastery. The guy goes on his first mission, where Ginevra sneaks up on him. The girl tries to talk to him, but Macito gestures that he is digging in the ground. After dealing with the digging, the guy goes to clean the walls, where Fernanda and Alessandra notice him. Looking at the girls, Macito smiles. Fernanda rushes at the guy with an axe, threatening to cut him down for looking at them. At that moment, Sister Maria appears, explaining to the girls that the boy is deaf and dumb, and that from today on he works for them at the monastery instead of Larco. Sister Maria takes Alessandra away, telling her that Tommaso's father was robbed by bandits, stealing all the embroidery the girl was making for sale. To make up for the loss, Maria assigns Alessandra an assistant. Looking at the old woman, the girl sighs heavily, but nothing can be done. Suddenly, Alessandra's frame breaks, so the girl goes to the hut of Macito, who at this moment is followed by Ginevra, seeing a guy with a cart. Entering the guy, Alessandra immediately begins to tell him all her problems, although she knows perfectly well that Macito is deaf-mute. To get away from the girl, the guy shows that the frame is already fixed. When Alessandra comes out, she is already being watched by Ginevra and Fernanda, who spotted her sister lying in the grass like a tiger. Meeting Macito in the evening, Tommaso asks the boy how his first day was. The boy tells him that everything is great. In addition, he met the sisters, who he found very interesting. At night, Fernanda is visited by her friend named Marta. After stealing holy wine from Father Tommaso, the girls head to Alessandra's, where Ginevra arrives a little later. drunk, the nuns begin to sing songs. Afterwards, Martha asks the sisters if it is true that they have never been with men. According to Martha, the girls have missed out on a lot, for it is the greatest pleasure on earth, but the nuns consider sex a sin that makes it impossible to go to heaven. Alessandra falls asleep, and Fernanda and Martha begin kissing in front of Ginevra. Taking her sister under her arms, Fernanda escorts the girl to her room, where they begin kissing. In the morning, Alessandra approaches the working Macito, handing him a handkerchief that the girl embroidered for the boy as a thank you for listening to Macito talk to her. Sitting down next to him, Alessandra looks into the guy's eyes before kissing him. After knocking the girl down, Macito wants to pierce her, but when he hears the bell ring, he stops. Jumping up, Alessandra runs into the convent to pray, where Fernanda notices that the girl is all in the ground. After prayer, Fernanda and Ginevra go to wash their things. Alessandra approaches them, from whom Fernanda wonders where the girl has soiled her clothes, to which Alessandra tells her that she was helping to dig a ditch for a new worker. When the girl leaves, Fernanda leaves Ginevra alone to wash her clothes, while she goes with Marta to the woods to fetch Belladonna, who, according to Marta, can help seduce any man. The girl brews a solution, a couple of drops of which Martha drops into Fernanda's eyes, after which she rubs the girl's cheeks with a drop of blood. After that, they go to Maceto's hut, where they undress the boy. Having properly aroused Macito, the girls leave, meeting Ginevra on the way. As evening falls, Macito tells Tommaso that he is willing to stay at the monastery for a while longer, if the Holy Father doesn't mind. Tommaso is happy to hear this, for they just need a worker here. And, according to Macito, things seem to be getting better with the sisters. In the morning, Macito breaks into Alessandra's room through the window, who immediately pounces on the guy. Fascinated, they fail to notice an old woman who enters the room to help Alessandra with her embroidery. Out of surprise, Macito curses when he sees the nun. The old woman doesn't react at all, so the guy escapes from the room just as he came in through the window. Meanwhile, Ginevra tells Maria that Fernanda has purposely invented the story of the donkey's escape in order to leave the convent grounds supposedly to search for it, while she herself does an incomprehensible thing, offering her candidacy for courting the animal. Outside, Ginevra notices Macito asleep. As she has observed Marta and Fernanda preparing a potion, the girl also decides to prepare a potion, only she cannot drink it, it is only necessary to put a drop in her eyes. At this time, Alessandra comes to Macito, forcing him to talk, for she has heard him swear. They do not manage to talk, for Ginevra enters the hut. The stupefied girl sits down on Macito, but then pronounces that she likes women better. Hearing singing outside, Ginevra hides behind bales of hay, meeting Alessandra there. Fernanda appears in the hut, who ties up Macito and takes him into the woods. After following Fernanda, Alessandra and Ginevra notice a coven of witches in the woods, with Macito tied up on a rock nearby. Throwing off her clothes, Ginevra sets out to join them. A ritual is performed on Macito, during which Fernanda is supposed to have sex with the boy, but they are distracted by Ginevra's screaming. Trying to calm her down, Marta is hit on the head with a totem, and Alessandra runs to Fernanda with Macito, thinking that the witches want to sacrifice the guy. After freeing Macito, the girls head back to the convent, where Ginevra has already run in, waking everyone up and telling them that Fernanda is a witch. Alessandra, Fernanda and Macito arrive and tell Bishop Bartolomeo, who has arrived in the morning, that Ginevra is in a state of inadequacy because of the Belladonna's potion, which the girl has brewed herself. Taking Ginevra by the hand, the bishop goes to the cell of the abbess, where not only Sister Maria but also Father Tommaso comes out. In the morning, the bishop holds a trial, according to which he issues a verdict against all, and Father Tommaso is deprived of his ministry, causing him to become a monk, while Macito is handed over to Bruno's guards, who lock the boy up in a dungeon. After a while, sitting in the meadow, Ginevra apologizes to the sisters for all the time she has reported everything she has seen or heard to the abbess. She also apologizes to Fernanda for breaking the ritual. Fernanda also apologizes in return for not revealing that she is a witch. Pensive, Ginevra asks if Macito will be killed. In the meantime, Bruno visits the guy in the dungeon, thanking him for divorcing that windy woman because of Macito, and now Bruno has a new girlfriend, seemingly even a faithful one. The man has two pieces of news for Macito, good and bad. The good news is that Bruno will keep Macito alive, and the bad news is that he will keep her only to torture the guy. After the rich man leaves, the sisters slip a turtle with a candle on its shell into the corridor. Noticing it, the guards decide to follow where the turtle is going, allowing the nuns to let Macito out of the dungeon. Seeing Fernanda, the boy is frightened, but the girls say they want to bring Macito back to the convent. At this point, Sister Maria, taking a donkey, goes into the woods under the pretense that the animal has escaped and the abbess has gone to look for it. Meeting Tommaso, they are delighted to see each other. Hearing someone's voices, the man and woman hide, and the nuns with Macedo run past them. Noticing the donkey, Fernanda stops, for she has always used the animal to leave the monastery grounds. As the nuns run away, Tommaso and Maria kiss and then leave. This is the end of the film. Thank you for watching and see you on the channel.